Emergency on it now. Big 140 there from Joey. It'll be just the one dart. It's at double 16. And she finally gets a leg on the board against Joey Tenberg. It's took her 7 attempts, and it's come with a breaker throw.
Require 152.
Tough one to call. 152, another treble 20. Leaves a double 16.
Game shot
and once again in the opening game,
Fallon
we're tracked to a
Sherrock.
big finish. Yesterday, Jim Long opened proceedings with a 161, and after all those missed doubles earlier on, Fallon Sherrock nails a 1-5. It's meant that he is not on a finish. So Fallon is guaranteed 6 darts here. So this is a setup shot, a bit of a free shot. Another one of those would lead double 16.
123.
Fabulous setup. Leaves 32 after 12 against the darts.
81.
To complete the turnaround
Fallon,
from 2-0 down.
32.
Fallon Sherrock looking at double 16. That's crept in to the double 7. So she's going to have to go up for double 9.
Game,
but makes
shot,
no mistake.
and the match.
Fallon Sherrock comes from 2-0 down to undo the defeat yesterday afternoon to Joey Tenberg. Queen of the Palace off and running here on Tuesday. 80 average for her, the 1 max, and the highlight, the 152 finish. Coming up after the break, we're going to have the Group A leader, Barry Van Peer, taking on Jim Long.
He requires 74.
Should get 1 dart, may get 2 to cut the gap again. He missed this in the last one.
Game
but this
shot
time makes no mistake.
Barry Van Peer.
Barry Van Peer pins the 74. Still trails 3-2, but he'll be thinking, Matt, where was that tops around 2 minutes ago?
It's Jim to 64.
This is polished. This is brilliantly consistent.
Game,
and it is 2
shot,
points on the board for Jim Long, with an average in excess of 100. The first player to register a 3-figure average this week goes to Jim Long. Berry, improved performance at 94.94. It was not enough to keep tabs on Jim Long. Coming up next, John Brown takes on Ron Muhlenkamp. Commanders.
2 darts at double 16, and you feel this has to go, and it
Ron
does go. There's a break back for Ron Muhlenkamp.
John, you requires 16.
John Brown, double 8 to get the job done.
Game,
and
shot,
John Brown picks up his second victory of his campaign. A 4-3 success there over Ron Muhlenkamp. A very impressive last leg, got down to 81 after 9 darts. Real good scoring power under pressure. His first maximum in that leg as well. Well done to John Brown. And coming up next, we've got Jim Long and Joey Tenberg.
Going to get 2 darts.
Game shot
double 18.
And
we have a breaker throw for Joey Tenberg. The 93 was clinical.
2-0 down. He's just been irresistible.
180.
Well, that's how you resist it. You hit a maximum to leave yourself a solo dart at the double. Coming back for 36. Average back again over the top. 3 180s.
Joey required 36.
It looks like it's going all the way.
Game shot on the 6th play. Joey Tenberg.
Joey Tenberg pins the double 18. First time of asking. Double 10 to go clear at the top of the table for the first time. 1 dart left, and it's the tricky switch to double 5.
15.
And he's gone inside, and you can see what it means to him.
Joey
he knows
57.
that was a huge moment.
The doubles have been his friend. They've been going right for him all that time. It let him
shot,
down when it meant the most. And Joey
Tenberg
puts in the performance of the week so far for himself. An average that is nearly as good as the best we've seen from him in a TV game before. 95.5, complemented by the 3 180s. It's 2 points on the board for him. And we move our attentions forward to Fallon Sherrock and Ron Muhlenkamp. From Fallon meant she couldn't even have the dart at the ball. And it won't be a dart at the ball from Muhlenkamp. For the second time
Fallon,
today, he misses 36. The big number.
Game,
Match
shot,
start for Fallon
and the
Sherrock.
match.
She
Fallon
left
Sherrock.
Old Faithful double 18, and this time it is found. Fallon Sherrock moves to 10 points and top of Group A. There's the average, 91.09, 40% on the outer ring. Coming up after the break, Barry Van Peer will get the chance to move level with Fallon as he takes on John Brown.
Highest 75.
Oh, I was looking at the entire board. Good dart there for John Brown. Buys him 2. Gives him an extra dart of this double
Game
12.
shot
He only needs the 1.
John Brown.
Good, clean finish there from John Brown to level this match up.
Requires 16.
For match darts at double 8, stares it down.
Game,
And
shot,
only needs
and
one
the match.
dart.
John Brown.
And John Brown has won back-to-back games here this Tuesday morning as he settles his best performance of the week so far, averaging 89.42 in a 4-2 success. But coming up after the break, we're going to see Ron Moulenkamp against Jim Long.
Dart the double,
76.
much bigger target tops compared to the bull. Gonna be 2 darts for Jim Long, who
Game
opens
shot on
game
the first
strong.
lay.
And he
Jim
opens this
Long.
one strong with a 14 dart leg.
Doesn't
Jim
go.
required
So
24.
Jim Long steps in, staring down double 12 for a 4-0
Game,
bagel.
shot, and the
And it
match.
is served.
Jim Long.
Jim Long, fabulous performance to defeat Ron Moulenkamp, averaging 91.09. Clinic on the outer ring, 4 from 5, 80% as he moves up to second in the table. But coming up after the break, we're going to see Joey Tenberg against Barry Van Peer.
Required 107.
He's not out in this one.
Game
What
shot
a
on the first
fantastic
lay.
start to the match
Joey
this is from
Tenberg.
Joey Tenberg. He kicked us off with a max. He ends us with a 107. As we're just watching this 100 opportunity for Joey Tenberg.
Game
And just
shot on the second
rewind the
lay.
clock back.
Joey Tenberg.
About 2 minutes. I said, when you get in this negative mindset that Barry Van Peer's been in, you'll end up missing a few
Third leg, it's
darts,
Joey to
and your
throw
opponent comes
first.
up and takes out a tumblers
Game
check
on.
out.
We require 132.
When your judgment can be clouded in the battle and emotion, but the champagne shots,
Game
that
shot on
is
the third lay.
absolutely
Barry Van
majestic
Peer.
from Barry Van Peer, the 1-3-2. And that bullseye was not easy because of the first dart. It was
Fourth leg,
partly
it's Barry
blocked.
to
He's already
Joey
missed 6.
require 8.
This time around, 7.
Game
On
shot,
his 8th
and
time
the
of
match.
asking, Joey Tenberg condemns Barry Van Peer to his 4th straight defeat here in Group A. Somewhat of a surprise. There's the stats for you. But Joey Tenberg moves to 8 points, now level with Van Peer as he's chasing down the top 2. Coming up after the break, we will see Fallon Sherrock against John Brown. And that is a fabulous last start. 54 for the bull for a 1-2-4.
Game shot on the fourth lay.
That is a little
Fallon
bit good
Sherrock.
from Fallon Sherrock. John Brown had asked the question.
Fallon, you
Supplying
require
cricket pads.
158.
Oh my.
120. John, you require 74.
John Brown breathes again. 20 for tops. The dart at tops for 3-2 for John Brown.
34.
Can't find the target.
Fallon, you require 38.
Fallon opting for the straightforward approach. Still gets the 2 darts at the double, even when you
Game
go that
shot on
way.
the fifth
As
lay.
he gets it with that last
Fallon
one in
Sherrock.
hand and gets the important breaker throw.
Requires 16.
Fallon Sherrock coming back for match darts at double 8. Across the board to 4s. Now it's getting desperate. Downstairs to 2s.
Game
Last
shot,
start in hand.
and the match.
Fallon Sherrock
Fallon
seals a
Sherrock.
4-2 victory over John Brown, but that doesn't tell the story. Both had chances in this one, but the Queen of the Palace moves back top of Group A on 12 points and has that 2-point buffer. Coming up after the break, we're going to see Joey Tenberg against Ron Moulenkamp.
Require 81.
When you're doing that, it's always going to give you opportunities. Plenty of room to the
Game
right-hand
shot on the
side.
second lay.
And
Joey
finds that.
Tenberg.
on this
By
numbers
101.
it actually relates to.
Game shot on the
Fabulous
third
from
leg.
Ron Moulenkamp.
Ron Moulenkamp.
It's unconventional, but it gets the job done.
By
His fingers
120.
and hope that Joey Tenberg makes a mess.
Game
That
shot
is
on the fifth
absolutely
leg.
stunning
Joey
from Joey
Tenberg.
Tenberg. To 120 finish. Finally finds a holder throw. 50
On your reply,
missed
51.
for Joey Tenberg. Moulenkamp, 51 for the match. 19. Steps back, double 16. Is that awkward? What can he see?
Game
Enough
shot
is the
and
answer.
the match.
Moved
Ron
across,
Moulenkamp.
changed the angle. Joey Tenberg mismatched darts and Ron Moulenkamp stepped in to punish. There we have it, 85.14 for Moulenkamp as he bags the points. But coming up after the break, we'll see Jim Long against John Bram.
Reply,
Well, he hit the
32.
barrel and then went on the outside of that one, but hands it over to Jim Long to wrap this one up and move himself
Game,
onto 12
shots,
points.
and the
He
match.
does so at the first
Jim
time
Long.
I'm asking. That is back-to-back victories there for Jim Long by the scoreline of 4-0. He's on a winning run, and the reason for that is those averages at the moment. The lowest he's hit today, 91.09, and he's upped it once again in that one. Well played, Jim Long. Coming up next, Barry Van Peer takes on Fallon Sherrock.
By
The halfway point
104.
of the year, give or take a day.
Big moments here. It's going to get dart. A double 16,
Game shot
and
on the
that is
first
majestic
leg. Fallon
from
Sherrock.
Fallon Sherrock. Breaks the throw in 15. And remember, Barry Van Peer opened with a maximum.
53.
17
Game
for double
shot
18.
and the match.
And Barry Van Peer has ended that losing streak, defeating Fallon Sherrock by 4 legs to 2, making the Group A table now looking all bunched at the top, and everything is still in play. After the break, start our final round of fixtures with John Brown against Joey Tenberg.
98.
One here and there you can say is fair enough, but is it a technical issue or is it a concentrational issue, the loose darts?
Game shot on the third leg.
Well, that is punished
Joey
as well
Tenberg.
from Joey Tenberg. A lovely 98 finish. 2 unconventional doubles as well, the double 7 and the double 19.
559.
And now 59, 19 and tops. 2 match darts incoming for JB.
Game
Only needs
shot
the one.
and the match.
John Brown sells a 4-2 victory over Joey Tenberg, ending a very good day for John Brown, taking his tally to 8 points, and he is still in the title race here in Group A. Coming up after the break, our penultimate match, Ron Moulenkamp against Barry Van Peer.
When you try speaking to one of your own children, I think sometimes there's more emotion in it than there should be. And I think it comes away a little bit from that sort of mental. And I think Steve would probably be quite aware of that as well. So I think he'd probably have some fatherly advice, but I don't think he'd be too much like
139. Ron, you require 86.
18's first for Moulenkamp. We get 2 darts at double 16. Last dart, double 8. Barry Van Peer is poised if this misses.
Game shot on the
but it
first
doesn't.
leg. Ron
And Ron
Moulenkamp.
Moulenkamp takes the opener in 15.
Require 80.
either straight up the line or treble for double 10.
Game shot on the
14 dart
second leg.
response.
Barry Van
That is the
Peer.
Barry Van Peer that is sat top of the Challenge Tour at the moment.
105.
This is a skin saver. 105 for Van Peer. Tops.
Game shot on the fifth
how
leg.
big will that be?
Barry Van Peer.
Barry Van Peer gives it the old arms out. Where's that been?
Big advantage here.
135.
He has given himself 6 darts.
Game
That is
shot and the
absolutely
match.
sensational
Ron
from Ron Moulenkamp. The 135 finish, treble 19, bullseye double 14 to seal the points and end his day on a high. Disappointing day for Barry Van Peer, but he'll be back tomorrow to put that right. Coming up after the break, our last match of the session, and the top two collide as Fallon Sherrock meets Jim Long.
The timing's been good. Going to be much better. But is history going to repeat itself?
136.
Yesterday up against Fallon Sherrock, leg one of game one. He took out a 161 for a 12 darter. He went that exact route.
Old Faithful.
Game shot on the first leg.
66 in 3 after Jim Long missed the ball for the 161.
Jimmy required 97.
On taking out the 170.
2 darts at tops.
Game shot on the
97, and that
leg.
is stunning from Jim Long. Fallon applied the pressure, but Long had the answers.
Fire 82.
Bullseye first. 25 would leave 17 and tops. However, she doesn't need that option.
Game shot on the 5th leg.
Clinical.
Fallon
Sherrock, the Queen of the Palace. Done exactly the same.
84.
2 match darts have come, and they have gone for Fallon Sherrock. She knows they were close, but Jim Long, 84 to send us all the way, is going to get 2 at double 12.
Game
he only
shot
needs
on
the 1.
leg.
We are
Jim
going
Long.
all the way. 3 apiece. Where's he going? And another. Was looking for a no. It's not in, Jim, I can tell you. It slipped the wrong side into the treble 3.
85.
But he has tidied it up.
Fallon
Sherrock comes back for an overnight lead in Group A. Double 8.
No score.
She's bust. She's gone into the wrong bed. She's
Jimmy
pulled it into the double
57.
16. A chance Jim Long didn't expect. And he is now favourite. 17. 2 at tops. 1 more.
37.
And he's missed. Tension
Fallon
getting to them both.
16.
Fallon Sherrock comes back.
Game
And this
shots,
time,
and the
Fallon
match.
Sherrock hits.
Fallon Sherrock.
4-3 victory for Fallon Sherrock gives her an overnight lead in Group A on 14 points. Those numbers don't do this game justice. The average is tumbled because of the missed starts in the deciding leg, but overall, Fallon Sherrock steals the points to go top of Group A as we head up to the balcony with Henry and Matt.
Phil, thank you very much. It's a day that was filled with tension. It ended with tension. Me and Matt Edgar were up here on the balcony, and you could just tell on the stage at the end there, both players knew the significance of that last leg, and it kind of told with both players missing match darts.
I think both players probably thought they'd won it. Both players thought they'd lost it at different points of that. But most importantly, it was the most important match in terms of the league table. Both players went into that joint top and just a bit of leg difference separating the two. Now Fallon takes that top position at the top of the table on points, and I'm pretty confident to say that she thought she'd thrown that away when she missed those match darts at the end. She outscored Jim on the way down, and then when Jim was coming up for that 57, I think she was probably just expecting Charlie to call a game shot. She got another opportunity. This time she was able to take it. She's looking good in terms of getting through to Saturday.
Most certainly, and it was a game full of clutch finishes, and you thought when Jim took out that 84, well, the game may have just changed on a pinhead.
And
this
that was
a
again
66 from Sherrock just before, my apologies.
Well, that was after a couple of opportunities as well, that 84 that Jim Long took, that Fallon again handed those opportunities. It looked like she was struggling to get over the line. She was aware of the significance of this and the possibility of winning a Group A. She's qualified through to Saturdays before, but as far as my knowledge goes, she's never won a Group A, which for me is one of the hardest groups to win when you look at it being a 3-day campaign. You've got to be consistent for a long period of time.
Well, this is how the table looks after the the second day's worth of fixtures here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Fallon Sherrock having that 2-point lead overnight from Jim Long. And I mean, going into this overnight for Jim, is it about just forgetting what happened there? Because the rest of the day, you look at the averages, you look at the performances, there was some really good stuff from him.
I don't think there was anything wrong with the performance there of Jim Long. It was a good performance. He was solid throughout the game, but he just missed an opportunity there at the end of it. It was a really good match from both. And I don't think there's any negativity there to take from Jim Long. I think realistically, he's probably the favourite going into tomorrow. And with that, when you look at the table, there's no one really completely out of this. And I said we're not really going to know till game 13. I might change that to game 14 now.
How many horses do you think are in the race tomorrow?
Realistically, probably just the top 3. The players that are on 8 points have probably got a bit too much to do. There's a 6-point gap there. There's only 10 points available tomorrow. But cast your mind back not too long ago, Moreno Blom. He came in on the last day in one of these positions where it looked almost impossible, ended up winning the group. So nothing is impossible. Everybody's got a bit of a chance.
As for Barry Van Peer, interesting day. Struggled at the start, then made a bit of a recovery midway through the session. He could have put himself on 12 points, but for this 1-3-5 from Ron Meulenkamp to go on and seal the win.
Great finish there from Ron Meulenkamp as well, and it sort of felt like the Ron Meulenkamp performance sort of came from nowhere, because it looked like he's been struggling throughout the day, and he certainly hasn't been playing like the Ron Meulenkamp I remember from a couple of years ago. So he's been doing bits on the Challenge Tour, so it's obviously not a consistency issue or an issue with the throw. It's just not been working for him here so far. But there are signs in there, and Ron Meulenkamp's the sort of player that could come tomorrow, win all 5 matches, and do what Moreno Blom did.
What's your assessment on the day that John Brown had today?
Better. Much, much better. And I mentioned earlier on in commentary that I think he's a victim of his own success. He got a tour card probably earlier than he probably should have in terms of where his ability range was at that time. And then he's judged against that as where he should be, and the talk is about him going back there, where I think we need to be looking at a forward line rather than saying does he get back to that position, because I think he's probably going to be better than that position was when he got there in the first place. So I think we need to look forward with him and say actually he's still a young player developing, showing some good signs.
And just finally, in terms of Joey ten Berg, second day here, we know he hasn't been in front of the cameras on that big stage for a little while now. Is he going to be the type of player that as the week goes along, as we get to Thursday, Friday, get to whichever second group that he's in, he could be a dangerous threat?
Well, if the line of performance and anything we've seen so far is anything to go by, the answer's simple. It's yes. Because Joey ten Berg is getting better and better as this goes on. It's exactly what we expect when people's had a break from the game, that maybe they'll just start a little bit slowly, but he's warming into the task. He's getting better as it goes. He's putting in some big performances now. And I tell you what, the throw, it looks like he's throwing with a lot more rhythm in there. He's certainly throwing quicker, which is a sign of confidence.
Well, this was the Shanghai he got against Ron Meulenkamp. And actually, again, you look at the way darts go on the board, you look at the action, it's far more smoother than it was yesterday.
A long way. It's night and day, really. When we look at when he started off, he was a little bit timid, a little bit sort of slow with the action. He was approaching the hockey slower. These are just things of trying to be deliberate, trying to make sure of what you're doing, because you're not trusting yourself. He now trusts himself. He trusts the process. He's obviously doing something right in the practice room to translate into the stage.
Is it a case then going into tomorrow for him just to relax about proceedings a bit more?
I don't think he can relax. I think when you're a competitor like Joey is and someone who's had the success that he has, I don't think it's a case that you can ever really feel comfortable and relaxed with it, because you want to win. And it doesn't matter how long you've had out the game or how long you've not been winning for. That's why people are here, that fire burning inside, that desire to win. And that's what he's got to contend with. He's playing himself a lot of the times up there. And it looks like he's starting to win the battle and really enjoy himself.
I'll tell you what, it's set up quite nicely for tomorrow, isn't it?
It's what we expected, isn't it? This group will not be decided till the very end of tomorrow. I'm pretty sure of that.
So that means whatever your plans are for tomorrow, you make sure that the Super Series is very high up on the priority list, because I think you're going to see a great battle as far as Group A is concerned. Tell the boss you've got to work from home. If you're going to the beach, put it on your phone, because I tell you what, we're going to have some finale to Group A here at the Super Series, because fantastic Fallon, it's top of the pile, but it's still a long way to go.